Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, ok. Jarada Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachariyam Yamuna Tira Vanachariyam Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachariyam Yamuna Tira Vanachariyam Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Shatarashata Shishimat His Divine Grace Shila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, Conversation between Narada and Vyasadeva, text number 29. Kalpanta idam adaya Shayanem Basyudan Vataha Shishai Shor Anupranam Vivishentar Aham Vibho Kalpanta idam adaya Shayanem Basyudan Vataha Shishai Shor Anupranam Vivishentaraham Vibho Kalpanta idamadaya Shayanem Basyudan Vataha Ishoran Pranam Vishentaraham Vibho Kalpanta idamadaya Shayanem Basyudan Vataha Shishaishoranu Pranam Vishentaraham Vibho Kalpanta idamadaya Shayanem Basyudan Vataha Shishaino Pranam Vishentaraham Vibho Kalpa Ante. At the end of Brahma's days, idam, this, adaya, taking together, shayane, having gone to lie down, ambasi, in the causal water, udanvataha, devastation, shishaisho, lying of the personality of Godhead, Narayan, Anupranam, breathing, Vivishe, entered into, Antaha, within, Aham, I, Vibho, of Lord Brahma. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. At the end of the millennium, when the personality of Godhead, Lord Narayana, lay down within the water of devastation, Brahma began to enter into him along with all creative elements, and I also entered through his breathing. Purport. Narada is known as the son of Brahma, as Lord Krishna is known as the son of Vasudeva. The personality of Godhead and his liberated devotees like Narada appear in the material world by the same process. As it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, the birth and activities of the Lord are all transcendental. Therefore, according to authorized opinion, the birth of Narada as the son of Brahma is also a transcendental pastime. His appearance and disappearance are practically on the same level as that of the Lord. The Lord and his devotees are therefore simultaneously one and different as spiritual entities. They belong to the same category of transcendence. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shimate Praladananda Swamiti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha Shunyavadi Pashtya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we have found out about Narada Muni in the previous verses. He left his material body and he got a spiritual body. And what did he do when he attained the spiritual body? So he came back. He came back to this material world to teach others. You might wonder, why do we need Narada Muni? We have the Vedas. We can read the Vedas. We study them. We get information. That's it. We understand everything and it's finished. Well, it's not that easy. One thing is that before Srila Vyasadeva decided to write down the Vedas, there was no such thing as written Vedas. Maybe there was. But the main way of transmitting the Vedas was spiritual master to disciple. So you couldn't just read the Vedas, you had to hear the Vedas from someone. You have to go find someone who knows the Vedas and get this information from them. So this is the whole Bhagavatam. Vidura meets Maitreya, sages of Naimisharanya meet Sutta Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj meets Shukadev Goswami, and so on. Now you can just open Vedabase. You can open Vedabase and say, hey, what's happening? What do the Vedas are talking about? Which is good. It's very good. And at the same time, it can also be bad. We'll explain. I met this boy these days, I don't remember. And we were talking and he was he somehow identifies as a Hare Krishna. He thinks, oh, I'm a Hare Krishna. He read some books. And he read the right books, the real books. He read the Bhagavad Gita, some parts of Srimad Bhagavatam. He read some books, some of our books. And what was the result of his reading the books? Well, he told me he found some reference to pranayama and he was very excited that he's doing some pranayama and and this is so good. And I was thinking, how about chanting? Are you chanting? No, I'm not chanting. Like, what? I mean, I remember when I got the Bhagavad Gita, I started reading. That was the only thing I understood from the Bhagavad Gita, that I have to chant Hare Krishna, Yeah, but I mean, it's on every page, like. And Srila Prabhupada says you have to chant, and I also understood that I have to follow the 4 regulative principles. That I also understood. That was clear, So, and you have someone who's reading these books, and he doesn't understand that he has to chant Hare Krishna. What? And also, he was telling me about spiritual master. It wasn't very clear to him if he needs one. He was inclined to that. No need, no problem, no need for a spiritual master. You just do something, and Krishna will. You and Krishna, and that's it. So the point is that he read the books, the right books. And he didn't understand even the most basic principles, Spiritual master chanting Hare Krishna, following 4 regulative principles. This is like basic, It's everywhere in our books. But he didn't understand that. I give you another example. I also met this lady that was in this city, and I knew they had there's a yoga center there, and which somehow belongs to this Apa Sampradaya. Anyway, so I knew, because I met this lady who had this center before. She was very nice. So I met this lady, and was just passing through the city, and I see inside, and I see this lady working in this real estate company, and I'm looking at her. She was somehow looking at me. I was like, okay, let's go inside. So we go. Hello, how are you? And I give her a book, something. I always start with some small book, you know. I give her a Upanishad, and she says, what else do you have? Oh, okay, this Bhagavad Gita is for serious people. Okay, good. Yeah, I actually read the summary of Bhagavad Gita. Oh, okay, summary of Bhagavad Gita. And then I connected the dots, because her yoga teacher was recommending her this summary of Bhagavad Gita. I was like, wow, yeah, very nice. You know, when you go in Sankirtan, whatever they say, it's very nice, you know. Yes, very nice, very nice. I can see you're very spiritual. And on the inside, I was like, yeah, I know. And she was trying to show me the cover of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, yeah, I know this Bhagavad Gita. And then she told me, yeah, you know, at first I read it once and I didn't understand. I was like, yes, of course you didn't understand, because this Mayavada philosophy nobody can understand. And then I understood. I started understanding something. I was like, oh, that's really bad. And then I said, okay, you read the summary. Now you have to read the whole thing. You know, like the original text. Also, you have to read, and like, yeah, you know, this next level. And anyway, somehow I convinced her. She was this nice person who doesn't understand anything, you know. So she was like, yeah, sure, you know, of course, you know. So she got a Bhagavad Gita and a Krishna book, and then I left, and I was thinking, now let's see what she will understand. So the point is, this boy, before, he didn't understand too much from the Bhagavad Gita, from the real Bhagavad Gita. And I was thinking, what will this lady understand from what did she understand from this so-called Bhagavad Gita summary? Which is just something else. It has nothing to do with Bhagavad Gita. I didn't read it, but you know, I know the. So that's. I'll give you just another example and then summarize the point. I also was talking with a devotee, initiated devotee, reading Srila Prabhupada's books, and he read some comment there, you know, like something like that we got in the material world by some accident. And he was telling me, yeah, I like to think this way and that way. And I was like, just looking at him, but that's not what it says there. So, and I was trying to tell him, you know, it actually says this. That's off topic, but and I also remember my case. You know, I joined the Hare Krišna movement. I read the books. I started chanting. I was following the 4 regulative principles, and after quite some time, half a year, 1 year, I got this idea, because I was coming from this yoga background, so, you know, you have your sadhana and things automatically happen. Your life improves, you know, your karma mimamsa, it's called. Yeah, you do your sadhana. So I was chanting and chanting, and I actually quit my job and moved to some sort of a temple. And at some point, I got the idea, oh, there's a person called Krishna. I mean, I was in the movement, you know, I was chanting Hare Krishna every day. I was like, oh, Krishna is the name of this person called Krishna. Oh, wow. That's an interesting thought. So the whole point, Lord Chaitanya quotes this famous verse from Mahabharata, Tarko Pratishta, Shtaya Vibhina. And he says, dry arguments are inconclusive. A great personality whose opinion does not differ from others is not considered a great sage. Simply by studying the Vedas, this is the relevant part, simply by studying the Vedas, which are variegated, one cannot come to the right path by which religious principles are understood. Simply by studying, you will not understand. The solid truth of religious principles is hidden in the heart of an unadulterated, self-realized person. Consequently, as the Shastras confirm, one should accept whatever progressive path the Mahajanas advocate. So the point is that studying the Shastra on our own is very good. Of course, we recommend the devotees to study. But many times you see it's not enough. At least for most of the people. It's not enough because we also need sadhus. We need devotees. We need to see the examples. We need to see those devotees who actually live according to the Shastra. And then when you see these devotees, you're like, okay, you know. Many people who they understand they have to chant Hare Krishna, they sing Hare Krishna, they do many things, you know. Like some were. I heard some devotees, they were singing 16 rounds. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So unless some devotee comes and tells you, okay, look, that's how we do it. See, this is japa. You heard of japa before? Okay. So this is japa. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We were with our Indian friend yesterday. He never, nobody told him ever how to chant Hare Krishna on japa. Chant some mantras on japa. So the point is that we also need a sadhu. We need the Shastra, and we also need sadhus who will actually tell us what to do in our context. So we see Narada Muni in Bhagavatam. He's preaching to different devotees. And the interesting part is that he doesn't have what they call one-size-fits-all. He's not preaching the same thing to everyone. He is he understands very well where this devotee is, and he tells them what they need to hear. It's very... So he has a different approach with different devotees. Of course, the message is the same, but the way he puts the message in is always different. You know, you have King Prachinabarhi, who is doing this karma kanda sacrifices, and he has this very elaborate analogy about. There was a king like you who was doing like you, and then he did this, and then he wasted his life, and this happened, and this happened. So very, very complicated, you know, analogy, just to bring him to the point. He has Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj goes there in the forest. He says, "I want a kingdom greater than my grandfather, Lord Brahma." He said, "Yeah, why don't you go home and play like children?" No, I want. I said, "Okay, I'll give you a process." He doesn't tell him, you know, look, it's not actually what you should be looking for. He said, "Okay, you want? Okay, we'll teach you a process." And like we devotees come to the Hare Krishna movement, they say, I want to be the wealthiest person in the world. Okay. Here, sit down, we take this japa, chant Hare Krishna. And then with time you get purified and you understand what you should want, you know. Or Like when we distribute the books, there's this bhakti. I don't particularly like to distribute it, but usually when I meet a Slovenian, there's 2 people or 2, 3 people. First I give them a Shishopanishad, and then I give them a bhakti, take the bhakti and say, this is how to find the love of your life. Like, you find this chubby boy, this group of three guys, and they're like, and you say, this is how to find the love of your life, which is true, But it's not what they are expecting. So sometimes a preacher will say things like that, like, okay, yeah, you want to find the love of your life? Okay, here's the book, How to Find the Love of Your Life. And on the inside you say, the love of your life is Krishna. But you don't say this loud. Say, yeah, sure, no problem. We teach you how to find the love of life. Perfect. Come. So the point is, Narada Muni is preaching in different ways to different people. He understands very well their needs, where they are, and what they need to hear. So the point is, from this perspective, you cannot replace personal interaction. You need some sadhus who will understand where you are and what you need to hear. Because, sometimes this also happens with books. Many devotees say they have this experience that they read Srila Prabhupada's books. They open the books and they read something and they're like, oh, that's what I needed to hear. I don't know if it happened to you. To me it happens sometimes. But sometimes that's not very clear. So we need also sadhus. And that's the whole point of a temple. A temple is supposed to give people the opportunity to see how sadhus act. And now the horrible question, who should be the sadhus? And the answer is that we are supposed to be the sadhus. We are supposed to be the sadhus. People are coming because maybe they read the books, maybe they like some Hare Krishna movement, and they come here and they want to see examples. People who live according to the books. So we should be that. And Srila Prabhupada wanted us to read these books, to understand very well. He said, one day he asked this devotee, can you quote this verse? He couldn't. Srila Prabhupada was very upset. He says, just see, you are not reading my books. You have to read my books and you have to study and learn my books just like a lawyer learns the law books. You must know everything, chapter and verse. If you do not know, how will you teach this man unless you know my books? Very simple question. Every day you have to read my books. Do you know that every day even I read my own books? So Srila Prabhupada is making a point that especially for preachers and leaders, we should know these books very well. Because we are telling some things to people every day. We're saying something. And and people come, they see, oh, he has a dhoti, so he must know what he's talking about. So we should know what we're talking about. We shouldn't say, oh, this is the Slovenian Krishna consciousness. This is the Romanian Krishna consciousness. This is the Indian Krishna consciousness. No. It should be Krishna consciousness as Srila Prabhupada wanted it. So we have to read these books very seriously and associate with those who are reading these books, and not only reading these books, but following what's in the books. It's not enough just to read. You have to follow what's in the books. And then our preaching is effective. Then you can, people come and they can see someone, oh, he's actually following what's in the books. Oh, okay. Nice. Very nice. I was thinking, what is the difference between a sincere practitioner, someone who is sincerely trying, and an Apa Sampradaya? Apa Sampradaya is deviated philosophy. We're always on the borderline, we're always in the risk of going that direction. And the difference is that the philosophy stays the same. For a sincere practitioner, he's like, this is the philosophy, this is what I should do, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and this is what I can do at this point. That's it. I mean, that's what I can do. Like when you get devotees, they come first time, you don't tell them you have to chant 16 rounds and follow 4 regulative principles from tomorrow. You will have to do it at some point if you get serious, but today you can start with 1 round, read some Bhagavad Gita, get you started somehow. But it doesn't, we're not transforming this into 4 rounds is enough, no problem. In Prabhupada's times, they were chanting 16, but now 4 rounds is more or less more than enough. 3 is also good. So the Apa Sampradayas, what happens is that you have a group of people who cannot follow. You have 1 person who cannot follow, 2 persons who cannot follow, 3 persons who cannot follow, and they get together and they, can you follow this? No. You can follow this? No. Can you follow this? No. Okay. So we just find some argument from the Shastra. We try to make it as philosophical as possible. It's not needed anymore. This is impossible. Like Shri Panchatattva ki jai, Shri Gornitai ki jai. Like this Lord Zetland said when he met Srila Prabhupada's godbrothers in the UK. They said, can you make me into a Brahmana? And they said, yes, we can make you into a Brahmana. So what do I have to do? Well, you have to chant. I don't know if they said about chanting. You have to follow 4 regulative principles. And this Lord said, impossible. You cannot do it. This is the West, Prabhu. This is different. Prabhupada actually did it. So the point is that Apa Sampradaya will always modify the philosophy. They say, yeah, Prabhupada was nice, but now different times. We do it a bit different because there's time, place, circumstances, Prabhu. So the point is that it's a big responsibility for devotees to keep the Krishna consciousness as Srila Prabhupada wanted. Because that's what it should be. People should come, they should read the books, and they should come, and then they should see, oh, that's how Srila Prabhupada says this in the books, and they are actually doing it. When I came to the Hare Krishna movement, I was quite impressed, there was not so many devotees in the temple, but I was quite impressed. They had this idea that you have to chant 16 rounds and wake up early and follow 4 regulative principles. And I saw some devotees, they are actually doing it. I'm like, wow, okay, this is a serious group. This is real, this is for real, okay, Because I had this experience, I was in many yoga groups and so on. And they were like, you go there and it's like, what's the practice? And this is the practice. And then you ask them, so how's your practice? Well, yesterday I did something, the day before I took a break and so on. Like, what? I mean, if you're like a serious practitioner, you want to see someone who's seriously practicing. Wow, you know. So the point is, we should be those serious practitioners. We should be those people who follow in the footsteps of Narada Muni. That people can have the opportunity. They come because we are a preaching movement. We go out, we invite people, and when they come, they have to see the followers of Narada Muni. Okay, this is a representative of Narada Muni. How does he behave? Okay, that's very nice in the books. There's quite some cases. People read the books and they really appreciate the books. Then they come to the temples. Of course, you know, we're aspiring devotees. And they come to the temples and they say, yeah, the books I liked, but it's a bit different. What's in the books and what's happening, it's a bit different. I'm not interested in what's happening in the temple or in the community or something. Sometimes it happens like this. So the point is that it's a huge responsibility. And we should be there to show an example and to help people understand the books. Because most of the people, they need education, as I said before. They read the books and they don't understand, so they need education. We should be there to follow with next step. I was talking with some devotees, and many devotees said, in ISKCON we're very good at distributing books. We distribute a lot of books. People have these books, they read these books, some people even like these books. We're not very good at follow-up, you know. Then all these so-called spiritual organizations come up and they take our people. These people who read these books, Prabhupada's books, they like them, and they decided to become spiritual. They go to, I'm not going to say names, but all these strange spiritual organizations, which they don't have any spiritual content, actually. So we should be very good also in continuing this, doing some direct preaching. Okay, we can have other types of preaching, but we should have also this opportunity for people. Yes, okay, you like the books, come, we'll read the books, we'll educate you according to the books, and so on. So that's also Narada Muni. That's what he's doing. He's going around and just preaching, just telling, okay, now like we are distributing books, but also helping people to make progress, because this is a preaching movement. Lord Chaitanya's open order is Yaredeka Tarekaha Krishna Upadesha Mara Gaya Guru Hanatara Desha. Whoever you see, you just tell him something about Krishna, become a guru. And sometimes whoever you see means devotees think, okay, whoever you see is, when you go for Sankirtan, you tell them about Krishna, you give them a book and so on. And when you're in the temple, or when you meet the devotees, how are you, Prabhu? How are you, Prabhu? You know. And it's very interesting, Krishna, in this, at the end of Bhagavad Gita, after he says, surrender to me, he says, I will not read the verse, he says, for one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, oh my God, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. So the point is that it's not only to outside your preaching, but also inside. You know, like we were talking with Bhaktayan. Inside, we should talk more about Krishna. We should talk, hey, Prabhu, what are you reading? Oh, this. Oh, how's your service going? How do you think to improve your service? This? No. That should be association of devotees. There's this verse from Bhagavatam. says, in the association of pure devotees, discussions of pastimes and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is freed and his attraction becomes fixed. Then real devotion and devotional service begin. In the association of devotees, you should discuss about Krishna. Of course, Krishna means Krishna and service. Krishna's service. Of course, you have to discuss service. But we should discuss about Krishna. So, as they say, charity begins at home. That you start with yourself, with the people who you are associating with. You're like, okay, let's talk about Krishna. We should, study more, discuss more, this. And then people will be interested. Sometimes we're focused, on outside, which is good. That's very good. But one thing we should understand is that purity is the force. Srila Prabhupada always said, purity is the force. Many times, many places, devotees are complaining. People are not joining. They are not interested. They are not... So how about we do something different? Let's, these techniques, this idea of Harinam, Sankirtan, and inviting people in and teaching them from the books, this is outdated. This worked in the 70s, this worked in the 90s, but it doesn't work anymore. And then someone else will say, we did, say, yes, Prabhu, but what was the difference? Yes, people were different, yes, different circumstances, yes, different times, but also purity. So if we, of course, we can look at the techniques, but if we want to look at something, there's always worth looking at our purity. And if we improve our purity, then people will automatically be interested. Because Srila Prabhupada didn't impress people by, some materialistic skills. Srila Prabhupada just impressed people by his purity. That's all. He just went, hello, you do like Krishna? And Srila Prabhupada was always preaching philosophy, and Srila Prabhupada couldn't care that people are not interested in philosophy. He would have kirtan, 100 people. And then there would be class, 50 at least, maximum. Everyone will go after kirtan. They will know, now it's the philosophy part. Okay, we're going. And then he would start speaking, and people would go. 40, 30, 20. You couldn't care less, That's, this is what we have to say, That's it. Whoever wants to hear will stay. So, yeah. Anyway, that's my point. We have Narada Muni, who is our example, just going around and preaching. And because of his purity, everyone is converted to a devotee. So if you work on this purity, and then we associate with devotees like Narada Muni, then also our preaching will be effective. It's that simple. Jai, I'll stop here if there are some comments, complaints, concerns. You want to add something? Okay. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He's Christian for this month, so okay. Next month he's a Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that's good. These lectures, morning lecture, evening lecture, these 2 hours. How much should we read? As much as possible.
I mean, you're always here for an evening lecture?
Almost. Almost. Lately, almost, yes.
We got it.
Huh?
We got it.
How much?
You know, sometimes you see the devotees, if you go downstairs and there's 5, 6 devotees, they are talking about nothing. And you say,
It's talking about nothing.
just, how are you?
What do you mean?
No substance. And then you say, you should read the books 1 hour per day. We don't have time.
I know that. When I was in the beginning, I was eager to read, to read devotees to talk about Krishna, but we didn't talk about Krishna. My car is I had to repair my car, I don't know. Ne, se